We are live.
Oh, hello there. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the two boring people that's on the call right now. The like cis white guy and John Brockman stuff in his face right now, and like me, the cis passing white guy. So hello everyone. Hello Jordan. Hello, the Jordan Indigenous Eric. How are you doing? We survived. We survived so far. Uh,
We survived an international fight with Aunt Kathy Day.
My aunt was not there.
National fight with Aunt Kathy Day. Sorry, not international.
Yeah. Well, it also is kind of like we never did the big family get together as it were, like flying out to like where all the relatives are and have that big thing where you meet everyone and stuff like that. No, never done that because like it's so expensive to do that. That's to be like a rich thing to do. Kind of like the people who like take a summer vacation each and every year. It's like, congratulations, you're probably rich if you were able to do that. Because like no, so it's like it's always just like an intermediate family from most of my life, and but then later when my dad remarried or started dating my stepmom, it was like oh, you made a meme, Joe. I'm going to like open it up as like interesting. I'm sorry, I'm distracted, like still sharing the link to like all the places. Been run out of time.
How's it going?
This is no longer a honky show now because Isaiah has joined us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how are you doing, Isaiah? And happy
Good.
birthday, Isaiah. You're now 29.
Yay for going around the sun again for the 29th time.
Yes, you have entropy.
As the universe becomes asymptotically cold to absolute zero, as eventually all the everything will condense back into a super singularity, and I guess there'd be another big bang after that. I don't know. And this just repeats itself for forever, I guess.
It's I mean, yeah, it's just like whenever you like you watch like Jack Corcoran's Stargazers or the old episodes of that, and then you just like know that like a Debacles or something that's called Beetlejuice is a red giant star that like can be the smallest, the size of 500 times of the size of our sun, and to expand to as large as of 900 times the size of our sun, as it were. And you're just thinking, wow, I thought like just going down to like the like corner store to get like some snacks was like a long trip, but that's just peanuts compared to the universe.
Not Beetlejuice, it's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have to say it at least 3 times to get rid of like Michael Keaton. But why would you want to get rid of Michael Keaton? Who wants to get rid of Michael Keaton?
I don't believe like any of this at all, but like I'm kind of a like, so if I say Candyman 3 times, will that summon the Candyman then? Like, does Tony Todd come out and kill me or something?
It's okay. The killing me part, that will be a problem. But getting me Tony Todd, hey, I wouldn't like balk at that though.
Yeah, Kern, right?
Yeah. There we go. That's the last thing. Okay, I finally shared the link. And hey, Culture Shots, hey, how you doing? The 30th time you have finished the 20th, 9th. Oh, yeah, well, just so Jordan, yeah, I had no like drama whatsoever at my Thanksgiving too. Well, it's kind of also it's like my dad went to my dad's house with our stepmom, with my stepmom, I should say, actually, and she brought over. She has like a bunch of friends and come over. People I don't. That it's like I only do it to like meet these people every time I come over to Non's house because they're Vietnamese and like I'm sure they're great people, but they speak all in Vietnamese and it's just like I just say hi and then eat my food as it were, and then stick with my brothers as it were because like those are the people I can like hang with. And so, and I avoided bringing up the contentious political topics, as it were. But my dad kind of like wishes my younger brother would get vaccinated because it concerns him. And
my adopted mom doesn't believe, like, okay, she's a Republican, she's white, she's kind of my adopted mom. She both supports criminal justice reform, but she also thinks the election was stolen. How do you fix that?
amazingly, human beings can be able to like almost simultaneously, or just like they have like two contradictory conflicting thoughts that they can share, or not necessarily at any given moment, but they can switch between them randomly as well. Unfortunately, a lot of like voters or just constituents as were, they believe that like the government should like increase spending on like all these like programs that they can benefit from. However, they also want taxes to be lowered.
Yeah.
And so they want government to do everything, but yet like they don't want to pay taxes for it, as it were, because propaganda tells them that's what they want. But it's like, in a way, it is possible the federal government just has to like really reduce its like military spending, and then reallocate the like funds from there to like other places. And
she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't think military shouldn't be like. I mean.
So your stepmother actually supports imperialism, because what
my adopted so she doesn't like support it, like she would say yes. So she would say that America has done a lot of messed up stuff. She does think that America is not perfect.
America's no angel.
Yeah, she says that, but so I mean, I don't know.
Because liberals, they do not know this, but they actually do support like imperialism. It's just that like they do it because like the Democratic Party, and
they want a slightly kinder imperialism.
Yes, they again, it's just like the biggest. Something to like say one of the biggest things is like the mean tweets from like Donald Trump was their problem, because like in some ways, yes, Biden is better than like Trump, but like it's because it's like not much. But there in some ways, just like, yeah, what has changed? Because like Biden also bombed Syria within like 6 months of his administration too.
Whereas I told you that when it comes to liberals, there's a lot of NIMBYism with liberals. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of there's a lot of liberals who say they support BLM, but the only BLM they support is like the letters BLM on their undies, on their OnlyFans page, as I like to sometimes say.
This was an excellent TikTok that like Marty Abernathy, host of Tea Party, shared, and this was from an activist who actually like runs a mobile library, as it were, and she's a woman of color, she kind of like she has like done a TikTok where she criticized it, where she asked like a white liberal blonde feminist, as it were. So it's like, are you going to like, okay, there's a BLM protest here, or what are you going to do about? Are you going to join me at that? Oh, did you see? I posted on Instagram that I was at this BLM protest on one time. See, I saw BLM in my hashtag in my Twitter. Don't worry, I'm a supporter, so with that. But when it came to like the Texas like abortion ban, as it were, like the vigilante improving and vigilante stuff, as it were, the same white feminists would call her up and said that we need all hands on deck. All women must be like out in rage about like the Texas abortion ban. What are you going to do about it? And she said, don't worry, I added the pink hat to my avatar on Instagram. I got your back.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. It's these people, it's called trophy syndrome. It's people they just want something to be proud of themselves for, and that's basically what that is.
I'm not destroying the environment. I am buying the eco-friendly gasoline. I mean, or like the eco-friendly cars, as it were, as opposed to like it. To be fair, though, like there's no ethical production on the capitalism, and so there's the green capitalism is not going to really be like the thing that will solve like climate change disaster. Yes, individuals can definitely do a lot of things to like reduce their carbon footprint, but some of that is like, if they live out in the boonies or like the rural places, and they have to drive like a bunch of miles in order to get to a place, or there's no good bus services where they live and they have to like go to work, something like that, there's only so much that can do, because environmental racism is a thing, actually, as it were, in so many ways. But it's also like the system as a whole, it just like really it needs to change, and like we said before, 70% of like the carbon footprint is produced by like hundreds like different companies, as were. and the governments themselves also subsidize the fossil fuel industry, as it were. Joe Biden is like improved Enrich Line 3 that's going through like indigenous like territory as well, as always happens, as it were. And so there's been like out in force trying to like protest that, and like and
I sometimes call him Joe Bite Me, but that's a joke.
Well, that's a better joke than Let's Go Brandon. But it's like the reason why the right loves the Let's Go Brandon is because they finally got a second joke. Before they recycled the first same joke before forever, like Attack Hawk, Captain Comanche, and so they finally got a second joke in Let's Go Brandon, so they're going to exploit that to no ends.
I saw someone in Winn-Dixie here in Tallahassee the other day with a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt, so I avoided him like the plague. I avoided him like a white person would avoid me on a sidewalk.
Yes, run across the run, as one comedian said. I saw this white person run across to the other like the other side of the street. It's like, dude, you know I can run, right? You're not really helping yourself. You're not safe.
If I want to rob you, I can just run and catch you.
Yes, and Culture Stats says, yes, this Dutchman's appalled at what America is doing with the monocle emote and throws a blanket over 400 years of Dutch history. Oh, Hank, when you, as a Dutchman, are going to apologize for birthing capitalism? England helped you a lot along the way, and then like we Americans picked up where like the Dutch and the English are like left off. Then and let's not forget France. France.
I think it's time for the U.S. to culturally appropriate Santa's slaves from Holland. That's totally a thing we would like.
Oh God! Right when we finally have the discussion about like blackface and how terrible it is, then again, still some politicians have done it in the past as a costume, as it were. As we're finally like getting rid of like the like mascots of the indigenous people for like our sports teams, though there's still the Chicago Blackhawks, like Tim pointed out last week and something like that. We're going to like reappropriate Black Pete. Oh.
If you've ever been to Tallahassee, we have a team called the Seminoles.
But
they work with local Seminoles to make sure that they're not too awful.
Yeah, but it's still cringy as hell. But okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for the St. Louis like white people to be a sport team as it were. But wait a minute, there's already the New England Patriots, and there's all like the Fighting Irish, and there's already the Vikings, and it's like
yeah.
Vikings is a certain class of white people though. Probably good in armor, probably good in like in melee combat. But that's kind of along that lines of like when there's going to be like the white people team. My high school, its mascot was seriously William the Conqueror.
I think there was in like Georgia one time there was a team called the Atlanta Crackers or something.
Oh God! I like the whip crackers. That's in the source of the word. Wow.
Well, I think the team was all black, but I think the name was called the Crackers. I think.
I mean, sometimes you have to actually like Wikipedia is like, why the hell are they called the New York Knicks? That's short for Knickerbocker, and it's a thing. You have to research that to like know what a Knickerbocker is. And hi, Groundhog.
Have any of you guys like ever been to like a store and you saw it said cheese nips and you thought that was that? Like if you're an Asian person, that must sound like really weird and awkward.
Oh yeah, Jordan, that's a good point. They still do the race of tomahawk cheer and like Atlanta Braves. Yeah, well, the Braves is still the Braves as we're finally getting the Cleveland Guardians though. But like, and then this is like the first 15 minutes of like the show. Welcome to Social Justice Alchemy. A bunch of anarchists like and socialists just like sit around and yap about like whatever comes to our minds or whatever the topic we have as we're. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we're on YouTube. And if you're listening to the podcast, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on the podcast. Now, if you want to further support us, so you like what we do have a Patreon as it were. And if you pledge like $1 a month to the Patreon, you will get your names read out at the beginning of of each show, or have it as like a scroll down in the YouTube video, scrolling down on the bars. Thanks to like all of our patrons, as it were. Did they give you enough time, John?
Not quite.
I was like rambling on. What else can I say? But yes, it's like that really helps like get the word out about like this podcast, as it were. And hey, even as a viewer, if we like you enough or you've been here long enough, you might even get to like comment on the show if we are deciding that like, well, Bazaar's going to leave at like about like 45 minutes from now, and then we have like just me and John, and it's like we have done that before, but it's like not usually good. But I bet you have the Patreon list now.
Yes, I do. So thank you to Mylan and Marty and Eli and Joe and the Fuckboys and Tim and Von Rack.
Thank you so much, everyone. And hey, Joe, it's our luckily Black Pete is quickly disappearing. Good.
Getting arrested.
Good. Oh. Okay, it's now the culture shots. It's another one's gonna be like reappropriating like the gnomes from the Denmark, as Ellie told us last week. Oh, but some good news that did happen is like the jury found all three of the guys guilty of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. So broken watch is like right twice a day, as it were. So who knows what would happen if somehow they were like acquitted on those charges, but like
riots would have happened.
But that's the thing, is like, so people have to remember, it's like no, there was once the video footage of that happening got leaked out to the public, they had to be like civil unrest in order for like the charges to be brought to the three men, in order for the prosecuting offices to actually like do the like trial, as it were. Or it took a long time for that to happen, and there was still like favoritism by certain PAs that were like going to be like that were actually like friendly with like one of the like killers. And so there was a lot of action that had to be taken in order to like get that to like trial. And thankfully the men were found guilty, because when there's enough evidence of someone clearly doing wrong, people will get like people will find like guilty trials, usually, as were.
An interesting thing, prosecutor is being charged with felony and misdemeanor counts for her handling of the Arbery case. Felony charge of violating her oath of office, misdemeanor count of obstructing police because she apparently used her position to discourage police from making arrests.
Actually, Joe McClory, if you want to, I can like if it's okay with everyone here, I can just send you the Zoom link to you like now, so that you can like come on and like chat with us. It also, plus there's only like three of us here right now.
I didn't know Dana Cole's like state was still that racist.
Georgia,
yeah.
Apart from Atlanta, honestly, and where Dana Cole is in northeastern Georgia. Her congressperson is MTG,
Magic Gathering.
Yeah,
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mojo.
Jojo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Joe. There's also another case where a cop actually like found guilty in for like killing someone too. A cop actually not the Derek Chauvin, that was like months ago, but like another cop. Where was it? I want to say Wisconsin or like Michigan. I don't know. I forgot where it was. But no, Kansas, I think. No, Culture Shots, you were also great like too. Yeah, that was like a great time that we had when we had you on too. We would love to do again if you're up for it. No, or even now, if you want to. Honestly, I have no problem, because, like, I didn't, as usual, I have not prepared for the things. And again, I was just like, oh yeah, I remember hearing the news of like that cop actually being found guilty, and I don't know where it is. I don't know the cop's name. This word. But again, broken watch sometimes right twice a day. But then again, that's assuming that like we have a broken justice system. The justice system that we have is white supremacist justice system, as were. Yeah, I can believe Georgia only has 4 million inhabitants. You'd be surprised. That's not trying to think the number of inhabitants for like Washington State too. I can look it up.
Yeah, and there's about 4 million people in South Carolina too.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly not surprised. It's almost like an average for like a lot of places is, and a lot of it's like that spread out too. Because like yeah, someone like shared this actually in I was on like an Economicons like a Twitch stream last night and playing golf with your friends, and one of the participants shared me this link. I'm going to copy paste it like and put into the chat. Well, hold on, is it like live or is it like just a screenshot at night, or it's like loop? I want to see it. It's good. Okay, yeah, it's at night. So basically it's kind of like a satellite footage of like America at night, and you see like this kind of like splotches, and you see a lot of splotches around, say, like the eastern coast, and and it's always when these like major cities that you see these like lights happening and on at the time at night, as it were, or kind of shows you visually that like America is like a just collection of islands, as it were. There's only like except for like in some areas where there's a lot of concentration of population, like in northeastern seaboard, or like in like between like New York and Pennsylvania and that area and Boston. There's everyone else. It's just like spread out. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, welcome in. Hello, how are you doing? There's like only splotches of like light, as it were, concentration and light in like places where it's like, oh, there's Chicago, oh yeah, there's Detroit, and maybe the one or two like major city in like this area too. Oh, so it's like, hey, it's the best way to see it. It's like America's just a bunch of islands that are connected together, as it were, which is probably true of like a lot of places, but like, yeah, that's how we kind of like have things organized right now. I don't know where I was going for that. But anyway, that's kind of like neat to see the satellite footages. Oh, but also when you are in those like splotches of like those heavily populated areas at night, you cannot see the stars. Just cannot. You need like it helps to have like decent elevation, but you really have to be like out in the woods or the mountains in order to be able to like see the stars at night.
But the James Webb Telescope sure can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back when New York had a power outage, people started calling 911 because they were scared of the giant thing they were seeing in the sky.
The moon. The Milky Way.
The first time they'd ever seen it.
Are you shitting me? That's like the first time they've ever seen the galaxy. I
can believe that. In New York City, I can believe that. There are people who like, because they always live their lives in New York City, they never drive. They never get a driver's license. They don't need it in New York City. It has actually a pretty good like public infrastructure system, and if it doesn't, you can get a taxi there. So I can't believe that some people just like never seen the Milky Way or never seen the night sky. They never like watched like Jack Horkheimer's like Stargazers, because what the hell is like he's looking at?
Can you imagine what kind of like call that would be? Like 911, what's your emergency? There's like a white thing in the sky. Like what's that?
And the Milky Way calls from LA. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And they were calling observatories, not 911.
Oh, okay. Because they're finally looking out up at the sky, and they were like, "What the hell is like that?" Okay, it was Missouri. Joe McClory put the link in the chat to like New York Times, and so unfortunately, thank you, paywall. Let me actually like copy the link and put in what archive, see if like someone like archived it, so that like we can see it through the paywall. Because but the key point is that it was a Missouri detective is convicted of shooting a black man outside his like home. Just convicted detective like Eric D. Vankenholm of involuntary manslaughter in the death of Cameron Land outside his home like in 2019. And Mitchell says living in werewolf like country, and we get to like see the stars a great deal. That's kind of like cool to like see that. And so well, it's like it's been happening. And okay, so for those who want to like read the New York Times article that like Joe McClary pasted, I did find like a web archive has like the link so you can like see it through the paywall. As where I was like taught that Corey Johnson mentioned that on like one of his like podcasts. It's like a month ago. It's like, just have it through web upgrade. That way it doesn't count as like, they wrote this is one of your like, now you got 4 articles left in the New York Times. which I know why they do it. It's capitalism. They have to like do something, and they have to pay for the content or monetize it as well in order to keep on doing it. But like, it's like it's always like New York Times, Washington Post, all those liberal kind of publications. There are things that are behind paywalls, but like Breitbart, OAN, or like all those other far right like rags as well. All this stuff is for free. Anyone can watch it. Everyone can read it. So that's the problem when like articles get shared. Sometimes people who cannot read that New York Times article because it's behind a paywall. Indigenous Heritage said, I live in a sparsely populated state with huge skylines across the plains. We see the Milky Way on almost every clear night there. That is awesome. That would be one advantage of like living in a rural place. My problem is I don't know how much I like living in cities, or at least living near like urban areas or like suburban areas at least. I'd like to be able to like I don't drive, period. So I like to be able to like at least walk to like some kind of like convenient place to like get my food. But also if I want to go to like the movie theaters or something like that, I like to like at least walk to like public transportation of some kind, as it were. So I kind of like city living in that sense. So I'm not sure how well I would do like in a rural place, even once I do drive. If I drive.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
Is it possible to write a TV show based off of comic, even if you haven't read the comic? And Lito's joining us, so that's cool. Hey, Lito.
Hey, Lito.
Julie.
Hi.
What is happy birthday in French, by the way? Because my birthday
Bon
just
anniversaire.
Bon anniversaire.
Moi, joyeux anniversaire.
That is so sexy. Can you say that again?
It's not sexy.
Okay.
It's sexy.
It's happy birthday, for fuck's sake.
What's sexy about
C'est
happy
ton
birthday?
anniversaire, tu connais pas ton père.
I remember you did that, Legend. You did sing like a birthday song in French, and in French for like John Brockman when it was his birthday. Like
that was the one you just sung now.
Yeah, exactly.
Except I changed the words slightly.
Yes, I noticed.
That's a good point, actually, Joe McClory. Liberal newspapers need advertisers, while conservative newspapers just need readers supporting conservative politics to pay for them. That reminds me in the Eat Rich podcast, like a few years ago, but they were talking about like one of the guys that like owns and runs the Washington Examiner, which is a far right wing rag, as it were. They had to like. That guy was giving out the Washington Examiner for free, trying to get people to like read it, as it were. Eventually, people were like reporting it as trash, or like throwing away into the recycling bin, as it were. Or he was getting like calls, or people saying like, "Stop harassing like housing places. They don't want your newspaper. Stop it." Because they were like, "I did not order a newspaper. What's the Washington Examiner doing on my doorstep?" As it were. It's often the reason like Washington Examiner, Breitbart, or Dennis Prager, or PragerU, or all these other people is because like they get like finances from the far right to be able to do the kind of thing that they do, unfortunately. But like change the topic, Julie. Relatively speaking, at least you're not dead. How are you?
I ain't dead. I just woke up actually from a nap.
Okay, that's good.
Hence the morning voice.
Yeah.
Even though it's not morning.
Do you guys have a Thanksgiving over there or something?
No, but weirdly, well, not weirdly, we have stolen in your Black Friday. Except it lasts the whole week.
They started doing that actually. Now it was like years ago they started doing that, whereas like the Black Friday sale starts past Monday, as it were.
I mean, as a poor person, I'm not going to complain about sales.
Yes.
Except it's at the end of the month when no one has money anymore. Well, yeah. I don't, anyways.
Or a lot of people that like only get like paid at the first of the month as well. That's
yeah, I'm paid on the 5th.
Yeah.
My birthday was Thursday on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
You're now 29.
Yeah.
Which day was that?
Thursday, last Thursday.
No, the number 26.
The 26th.
So your birthday is
The
My
25th.
birthday fell on Thanksgiving
5th.
in
Okay.
America.
My sister is from the 26th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. It's like 2 whole months now. The Christmas season is now 2 whole months. Yeah, like they take a break from the commodification of like Christmas.
Yeah,
so, like,
but the Christmas season is not sales.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's just like
like it's almost more expensive to buy something during Christmas season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is why with my family, my siblings, we always bought gifts just after Christmas.
I think some stores like years ago, like they started the trend where it's like they have Black Friday sales at like midnight on their Thanksgiving, or even like 10 p.m. at their Thanksgiving, and that's
that's how you provoke tramplings.
Yes,
I think we've changed that now. Where now you can't. Some like Target has said they're not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is why they like it started on Monday, because like most people are like start their works on like Mondays anyway.
Oh, the whole month, groundhog.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to come live in your country.
As
soon as for real, as soon as I have enough to get a passport and a plane ticket, I think I'm fucking off.
You want to leave? You want to come to America? Why?
No, Groundhog lives in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
I'm not coming to your fucking country ever.
I don't blame ya.
You're a white presenting woman. You wouldn't get arrested.
Well,
no, but I am disabled and I can't work. So
we already have enough like disabled friends here in America that like.
Well, I could in a country that has actually stuff in place to help disabled people work, like in New Zealand.
Because despite contrary belief, there have been plenty of people that actually do want to like work, as it were, but it's like they don't. Not all of them want to like work 8 hours at like a fast food joint, as it were.
Well, the jobs just suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Most disabled people can't work 8 hours in a fast food joint.
Yeah.
Yep.
God rest the merry merchants, and may you make the Yuletide pay. The Yuletide pay. The Yuletide pay. Yeah.
Yuletide. I thought you wrote Yuletide. So I was wondering what the fuck this had to do with me.
Yeah, Tom Lear knew of your existence and like mentioned you in a song. But speaking of Tom Lear songs, actually, they're going to become. We've already mentioned it, but they are going to become public domain, or if they haven't already.
What?
Tom Lear. His like songs are going to be public domain for sure.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a songwriter and a pianist. He mostly does like comedy songs, honestly.
Oh, okay.
He does Poisoning Pinches in the Park, the Elements song. I don't know if you would, or the Vatican Rag. It's most the Mexican Tango. It's mostly just silly songs. But like,
do you live in? Sorry, Groundhog. Do you live in Wellington too?
I don't know, and it's up to
she will answer, I think.
Yeah.
That's because Garrett lives in Wellington and is going to be
housing you.
Yes, thank you. For a while.
It'd be great. If to like outside of tourism, like nothing, never going to like, yeah, exactly, just like visit America, don't like stay here as well. And Mr. says, you're lucky our prime minister went on like a 5-minute like ramble to like groups of business leaders about like Peppy Pig and we're doomed.
Peppa Pig, it's a cartoon for children about a pig.
Okay.
Yeah, your prime minister is, what's his face?
Boris Johnson.
Yes. He doesn't know how to use fucking comb.
No, yeah, I think he purposely messed that up. Too.
I know, it's infuriating.
And Groundhog lives in Christchurch.
Oh, sorry. My condolences for the tragedy.
Oh, white supremacists getting shootings that ended with subscribe to PewDiePie. Yeah. I'm sure it's a great and beautiful place. It's just like world famous now for the tragedy.
For me as a foreigner now, the first connection I make is that, which is sad because apparently it's a pretty cool city according to Garrett anyway.
But like a lot of places like Waco, Texas, so like I'm sure it's like a fine like small town, but it's like world famous for like what happened there with the FBI storming the
what, David?
We didn't have a female prime minister for about like 7 hours this week. That was interesting.
No, you can't just write something in the chat like that. You come on the podcast and come explain, please, young man. Well, old man, technically you're a year older than me.
I mean, like maybe he's busy as it's a rural house in like Sweden doing the.
I don't care if he's busy. He is forbidden for writing stuff like that.
See, David, don't write interesting things in chat.
Now we're all wondering what the fuck happened. It's so weird.
This is our show today. Hey, Bob.
So how have you been? Because
it's been a while since we chatted.
Well, yeah, it's been a long while.
Me just working as work.
I like your shirt, Geek.
Oh, thank you. It's a Batman shirt.
Yes, I know. It's cool.
I like it because it's like long sleeves and it's like this is supposed to be like one of the things. Oh, you have an alien shirt, Isaiah.
Yeah, it's from the Magic School Bus.
Oh, but I like what it says too. I need some space because how many of us would love a shirt like that?
It's very colorful.
Yes, exactly. I like it too. I like the color of it too. It's very striking.
I'm not sure I like the colors, but it's very colorful.
And there's my astronaut thing back there.
Yeah, I saw it. It's orange. It's hard to miss, babe.
Yeah. A cardboard cardinal? What?
Cathedral. Oh, David is going to tell his weird story.
As I knew it, if we just pressure our viewers to like enough, like, oh, actually, David has also the link, so he can easily come on at any time he wants to.
He's in the Facebook thing, so
yeah, our messenger group. But the David's still connected in audio and like so yeah. Whenever I hear that, I think people are talking about like earthquakes, not terrorist attacks. Oh yeah, because like
you have earthquake in New Zealand.
Well, it's part of the Ring of Fire, so of course it does.
Okay.
And volcanoes.
Yes.
I'm not sure I want to live there anymore. I live in a country that is really devoid of natural disasters. We don't have storms and hurricanes and shit like that. So
it's unfortunately because
but you do have fascists.
Yes, that we live on Earth.
Yes,
we have that.
So David's now here. Is David? Is your audio
yes,
good?
Please, David.
He is
tell
muted.
the story because
I think it's good.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, here is David.
So you had a prime minister for like 7 hours, a female prime minister for just 7 hours?
They didn't have a female prime minister for 7 hours.
Yeah.
So
I'm shocked you haven't kept up with the news.
Did you
from Sweden.
lose her behind the sofa or something?
I don't watch the news for my own country, for fuck's sake. Do you think I'm really going to be following the news for Sweden?
I'm insulted.
Well, get over
we're
it.
the center of the universe, you know, especially now when we don't have any sun. No, it was like this. They had, because the old prime minister was resigning. He wanted to retire, so the new prime minister had to negotiate with a couple of parties, and they finished the negotiation. And she would have been the first female prime minister of Sweden. She was voted through the parliament, which is like the first step towards becoming prime minister. Then the next order of business in parliament was to vote on the budget, and the government's budget was voted down. So the coalition party in the supposed government, which was the Social Democrats and the Greens, and the Greens said they wouldn't be a part of a government who ruled with a budget that was negotiated with the Sweden Democrats. So they resigned from the government, which meant that the prime minister or the prime minister to be said she would resign as well, which meant that
because she's a Green.
No, she's a Social Democrat, but they had, because the Social Democrats and the Greens have been in a coalition government for 6-8 years or so.
Oh, okay.
And this was sort of the final straw when the opposition budget was voted through parliament, which would mean that the government had to govern with the budget from the opposition, which meant a lot of bad things for immigrants and so forth. So that's why. And it resulted in that after
I support them.
Yeah. Well, the end result is, I would say, was quite natural. But it's all because of the center party of Sweden, which is like they call themselves the center party. It's the kind of center you get when you have the horseshoe theory mindset. They are basically Thatcherites at this point. So they first supported the government, and then they voted against their budget, which meant that the situation was created.
They voted against their own budget?
No, they voted for their own budget.
Oh,
but
okay.
Since they have about 5% of the seats, it meant that the opposition got a majority for their budget, and it's convoluted.
It's politics.
Extremes.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds.
Oh, hey, Joe.
It's probably going to be like.
No, I'm not going to sing the song.
She's
Shut up,
probably
David.
going to be prime minister next week anyway. So.
Oh, okay. So she's not prime minister right now?
No, the old one is still active.
Oh.
So he couldn't resign.
That's what I love with politics. It's when it's simple like that.
Yes, very simple.
That is heavily sarcastic, if anyone can't.
Yeah. That's a multi-party system. Then you get situations like that sometimes.
If it's Skog.
No, okay. So you mentioned the Swedish Democrats. That's like the far right party, as opposed to the Social Democrats, which are the more left wing, as were.
Well, the Social Democrats are
center.
Social Democrats.
Okay, so
the Sweden Democrats are they're basically a Nazi party, but they
Yeah. And the Greens are where do they fall from an anarchist point of view?
Well, it depends. I would say. Since they're not, they usually nowadays they're identified as left, but on the other hand, the left is. I mean, they don't have, since the ideology isn't the traditional left-right.
Oh, okay. So they are actual ecologists.
Yeah, they're a
Okay.
green. They're a real green party. It's not
That's,
like
Okay.
no, that's
it's
cool
not like the one
because
they have in the U.S., which is basically
Well-
I don't know what a libertarian
They're
scam.
look, in France, the Green Party is a leftist party, not far leftist, but kind of leftist.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
ecology should be everyone's concern.
I
It
agree,
shouldn't be
actually.
a leftist concern, and I'm always baffled by that.
yeah.
It's unfortunately ecology sometimes like seems like woo leftist like a kind of BS is a word. And even though it's like if you're a conservative and want to
Not so much in France, but in your country, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the impression.
Hi,
But-
Jill Stein, anti-vaxxer bitch.
Oh yeah, just yes, we do. There, I mean, the left can get into bullshit too. Yes, exactly, Jill Stein, and it's just like, oh, at least Tulsi Gabbard finally went mask off is like not part of like the left or the American left either. As like,
There's no American left, babe.
yeah, exactly. There's no American left.
No,
Well,
actually.
I mean, parties. Of course, there are American left in the people, but
We're left in America. But hello, Joe. How you been?
No, it's called "We're the Kids in America."
Not bad. Well, it feels better now that I finally have the full weekend off. But
that's
been
right.
such a nightmare.
Oh yeah, you said like before that you would like would regularly work 4 12s with almost without a break as a word.
Oh no, not 12s. Well, we have breaks, but what do you call it? Essentially, because we are a 24-hour facility that has to have a minimal amount of staff as part of our agreement to work there. We have mandatory overtimes, and it's to the point where it's like
mandatory.
Yes, mandatory
Yes.
overtimes. That's the thing.
Oh my God, you really need.
Unions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, we used to have one, and then Scott Walker happened. So
oh yeah.
What happened?
Scott Walker, the Republican governor of Wisconsin.
Turned it
Oh,
into a right to
thankfully
work
former,
state.
but
Former, that's right. He did finally got like voted out, but no, Scott Walker was like the guy who also like really like stopped the government so that he can get things done that he wanted them to, right?
I don't think he ever got a place in federal government. He went to try to be a president, but it went real badly for him.
But like didn't he like wanted to like stop elections happening in Wisconsin or something like that? I'm trying to remember like him actually like fucking up with like just the like how the system works normally as it were, and this is like post normal times, especially with like Scott Walker kind of like a mini Trump as it were.
No, he did change the rules about for governor recall after recall went through, but he didn't, he was voted to stay in, and ironically that was within the margin where if he hadn't done that, he could have attempted to recall Evers when he won because it was within that margin, but because he passed through that legislation, he couldn't his supporters couldn't do a recall when Evers won.
your country sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not news. I don't know why I say that like that. Like it's new. But
It's often garbage here.
I wasn't going to say you need unions, though. I was going to say you need a work code.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
actually, unions are coming back now.
But we had the work code in France thanks to unions. So, it's different in the medical field, like the one you are, Joe, where nurses and doctors are supposed to take 24-hour shifts. But after 24 hours, they have breaks during the 24-hour shifts, obviously. But after they have 2 days break, mandatory. It's illegal to ask them to work after that. And overtime in no field is mandatory. It's completely illegal to force workers into overtime. Overtime is voluntary and is overpaid.
Yeah, if we, I actually had to do one of these because
Sasha!
I had a friend that was leaving the state that I wanted to, see off, and what do you call it? If you decline your mandatory overtime shift, it's part of a meeting in which you can be disciplined for, eventually leading to termination.
Oh God, that country of yours is.
Welcome to the dollhouse, Julie.
What?
Welcome to the dollhouse.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm not surprised, but every time I hear something new and awful about the US, and I have to say it's not normal, because it's really not normal. I don't think. I think most of the countries in the world are like mine, not like yours. Well,
Yeah,
Western countries.
That's kind of how I felt when I was listening to The End of Policing on my rides to and from
Manifest
work,
destiny, baby. Manifest
where it's
destiny.
like, yeah, I know the cops are terrible. I know that the system's bad, but still, like, listening to like examples of it that the book offers, it's like, holy fuck, I'm mad about this.
Yeah, you have to be reminded that it's not normal.
It's the End of Policing is a pretty good book, but if you like
who wrote it?
It's forgot the
Angela
name.
Davis.
Let me look.
No.
It's in the list here.
No, it's not Angela Davis for
it's,
sure.
It's not Angela Davis, because I would know the book.
Corey Johnson did interview the author of End of Policing for his like a podcast, like the Mind of the Skeptical Leftist. But like
When?
this was like in the past year, so it's like months ago, I swear.
Oh, well, I will go look after.
Alex S. Vitale, I think is.
Yes.
the
Oh,
pronunciation.
okay. I don't know.
Is
Them.
yeah. But like if you for those who like End of Policing, Kristen Williams, who's a pretty good author, and has like another book called The End of Policing. I did find a playlist of it that's an audiobook reading of it, and it's actually a pretty good reading by the person from
Give the link, babe.
there's a YouTube playlist of Our Enemies in Blue. Is a bit more radical than End of Policing, and I'm sure End of Policing is good, but like
I know you said enemies, but for a second there, I thought you said inbies.
That's because he talks too quickly. Fast.
True. I talk too fast, but like
Okay,
also,
am I supposed to say quickly or fast
either
in
one.
that context?
Either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what's the difference between the two?
One's an adverb.
Quick implies
No, in the sense. not
quick
in-
generally implies what do you call it? Fast acceleration. Well, fast just implies a high speed.
Okay, so in the case of Jonathan, it's more fast then.
Yes, because I always talk this way.
Yeah.
Perfect for
Maybe
like,
you always talk this way.
but like
That's not the right amount of syllables, but
yes, but
syllables.
Mhm.
Syllables.
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 Yeah.
He's steadfastly fast.
Hi, Cassandra. I like that name.
She's cool. I was like playing golf with friends with her like last night on Twitch.
Sorcerer.
Nerd.
Yes.
Girl from Ipanema. Okay, I'm sorry.
We only see your forehead, Isaiah.
You're too close.
And my whole like
And
where
you have very nice skin, but
my apartment's really awful when it comes to space and lighting. So yeah, it's probably the problem.
no, but
It's fine.
when you're not against your camera. It's okay. We can see you just fine. Don't worry.
The literal owner wants to see your face, and when she sees only something,
No,
like
no,
your forehead,
my face is.
Oh,
no, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
I thought you said you want to see my face.
No,
but
no, you
don't.
want
You
to
don't
see
want.
Asaya's face.
I have a treatment for my
That could be
skin
cool, Spike.
fuckery, and I look like an alien.
That could be a
Alien.
cool Spice Girl song. Do you want to see my face? Do you want to see my mouth?
No, wait. It was
What?
Mithril who said that like the most attractive feature on his partner is that the most attractive feature he finds in a partner is the face. That's where you said the most attractive thing is the smile.
Yeah. I know that sounds like a cop out, and I've been told that a lot, but I legit,
No, I get it. It depends on people, though. But they actually are people who have a smile that is like
Radiant.
illuminating the whole room.
It's not even particular smiles. It's what do you call it? It's along the lines of I tend to really only get serious sexual attraction to people who I'm emotionally invested in beforehand. So so smiling and being friendly is like the first most sort of thing.
Okay, I get
in.
what you, but that wasn't the question. But that was a cop out in the sense that the question that was asked to you is what makes you hard. That's not a smile.
It can be for some, but like,
oh, come on. I know, man.
That's the thing. Once there's a mutual emotional
I'm joking,
attraction,
Joe.
it's everything. It's not any particular.
That's true, but that's when feelings are felt.
Well, that's the thing. I have very little of that until feelings are felt.
Groundhog is not just sexual attraction, it can be aesthetic attraction too, and romantic.
Well, she's joking too because she's demisexual, so she actually is ace.
I know she's joking, but it's important to remind people like sexual attraction isn't the only one that exists, and that ace people can be attracted to other people, just not the same way.
Yeah.
I'm very attracted to about everyone, and I'm very ace.
Are you attracted to me?
Yes, you are very pretty, Zaya. I don't find a lot of people ugly.
Maybe Donald Trump.
No, that's not the. I don't like Donald Trump for other reasons. I don't really care. And also, he's an old man. I don't look at old people like that because that's creepy.
Wait, Mithril have a smile that can crack bulletproof grass at like 10 meters? That's impressive. But Julie, you were asking like how we're doing like now. I don't know if anyone knows, but like this wall is like bare because like this Monday or this week, sometime this week, technicians need to have like operate on that thermostat. I was going to get a replacement thermostat.
Oh, I thought that was something in cardboard.
It could be. It's a word.
It's because of the color, though.
Yes, exactly. So they need access to like that thermostat. So I just like moved the bookcase that was like right here, just over there.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what's missing now.
Yeah, there's the bookcase with everything.
It's still super messy. You could have tidied it up. Oh God!
I just moved. I moved the mess that was like right there.
Your room looks like mine when I was a teenager.
You live like Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
Did you die of scurvy too?
No.
You broke David, John.
Solid
I was
joke.
going to say it looked postmodern, but
She the thing is about like these cultural Marxist Maoist feminists, as it were, it's like they all are they all like don't reject.
Shut up, Mithril. Mithril says bullshit in the chat. Just to finish, Joe, I was teasing you. Yeah, you know that, right? I know you're not lying.
I don't know. I'm bad with that. Like
That's why I'm saying to you, I was teasing, okay?
We're all neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form, I guess.
Yeah.
But like everyone else, how relatively have been David, Isaiah, Joe, John. Just like, how are you? Even it's like just 7 or average.
I'm pretty much an 8 right now.
Okay, that's good. So, John, did you survive Thanksgiving too?
Mm-hmm. Ate food, took a nap.
Oh, did you get to see your family?
Mm-hmm.
Get to see your family? Oh my God! Make complete sentence, woman.
Look, hey, I make complete sentence? You can probably barely hear it because it speaks so fast.
Yeah, sometimes bits of words get lost.
So, David,
when I know what you're talking about, it's okay. But when you talk about stuff I don't know, that's just ununderstandable for me sometimes because what? So Joe is tired. John has eaten too much. Jonathan is waiting for an electrician. How about you, Isaiah? How have you been those last few weeks that I have been?
I've actually been good. My birthday was Thursday.
Yeah. You're what? 28?
29.
29.
Oh, 9. Okay.
And I look like
he
well,
was
this
28.
time yeah, it was 28. That was yeah.
I didn't get a job. I didn't get a job I wanted, and I'm still looking for work.
What job was that?
It was going to be working in a nursing home.
Oh, for being an aide. That's what you were saying earlier.
Cause see, I'm trying to get a full-time job so I can move out of this city. To save up money to get out of this city, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Why would you want to move out of the city?
It's Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Countryside is awful.
It's probably to a different city as opposed to just
out
of the city, meaning to the country.
You don't want to get a ranch somewhere or something.
No, I was thinking about moving to Titusville because it's close to Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that would be a good enough reason for us to like move. It's like closer to.
I live in the countryside and it's not fun, especially when you don't drive.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I like to be in like a either urban or suburban like area for my taste, as it were, because like easy walking distances to either a bus that can get me to wherever I can, like, or public transportation to get me to wherever I want to go, or just like to like the stores or mall, as it were. Or I like to be able to like have that as well. I don't want to like have to like drive 3 hours anywhere to just get anything.
I lived in a small town for a while. And it was manageable for 2 reasons. One, I was within walking distance of the grocery store to the point where, you know, I could go there like 2 or 3 times a week and just bring home, as opposed to like doing like a weekly shopping or something.
Yeah.
And I worked for a company that had a long transit as part of the job. So our boss, who also lived in the town, would like drive and pick us up before driving from our houses before driving down to like different cities where we used to do inventory.
I'm missing city life so much.
Yeah. I haven't lived directly in like a major city though, but like
but you don't live in the country.
Yeah, exactly. I don't live in the
countryside.
even though at my old house, we actually were not that far from a farm. I can walk to like a couple of farms in the area, but it's kind of like it's a bit of the ways, but like I can like walk 20 minutes to a bus stop. But it was only every hour on the hour, and maybe a peak every half an hour to be able to. But you still have to like make connections to like the transit center, and then go to like another bus route to get to where you need to go.
You love it, Mithril. I'm a city girl. The countryside isn't for disabled people anyway. It's too complicated here. In the city, I had everything just meters away from my home. So
that does remind me that like Taffy, who I did give the link to Taffy. I'm not sure if she's available or not, or like have the matches to come on. But Taffy has like actually done her own research to like see, okay, well, no, the government does of New Jersey or federally, there is like Section 8 just for disabled people as well. So can I qualify for that, and where will I be able to live? Basically, as it comes down to is like, yes, you can qualify, people can qualify, and there is like assistant housing. So it's like, here's your home, disabled person, here you go. However, in the countryside, far away from like all the amenities and the services you need as a disabled person, you have to, if you do go out all the way to the countryside to live in the free housing provided, you then have to just drive into the city to just get all the things you need, like refill of medication.
If I had a driver and a car provided by the state, I could live in the countryside. As it is, it's oh, by the way, John, Mylene's name has changed because, long story short, she talked with her parents who have fully accepted her now.
Ooh.
And her mother told her she gave her a name, and she likes it. So she's Flora now. I think she changed it on Facebook. So Flora.
Nice.
All right.
So yeah, she's my driver right now, and she has a life, so she has other shit to do.
Yeah, that's an excellent point in Indigenous Heretic. There's nothing stopping public transportation for rural areas except human interest in expanding public transportation. I totally agree. Same thing with like almost high-speed trains too, as well. And yes, Savvy.
Tavi.
Take care of yourself. If you're sick, take care of yourself. Please be well. Do the best you can. At least you're not dead. That's a good thing.
She ain't dead.
Yes.
That's a Discord thing.
Oh.
Yeah, if you haven't read the third book, you wouldn't know.
The Groundhog also said, well, we have a public system, which makes it instantly better than like the US, but it's like chronically underfunded.
I asked her about the healthcare system in New Zealand.
Right.
It sounds like it's similar to the one in France, which I don't know how to. I'm going to have to think of a plan for my teeth because. As it is, I can't eat properly.
That's right.
And I will never get healthy without being able to chew properly. That's stupid when you think about it, but you need to be able to chew.
Yeah.
Digest. And what?
Yeah.
What did you say, Joe?
Oh, I was just agreeing that you need to chew.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's on Team Chew. Yeah.
Instead of saying bullshit, David, how have you been this past few weeks? Apart from the politics weird fuckery of your country.
Well, that's been a part of it, but I mean, it's miserable here in November, so it's just trying to survive. Basically.
Oh, is it very cold?
It's not cold, not in my part of the country. I would really prefer if it was like you see in those classic stereotypical photos like, with like 3 meters of snow and minus 20 centigrade, not the other kind of strange whatever it is.
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Strange.
The other one doesn't exist. Don't mention it.
It's just been, I mean, it's been constantly raining for like 3 weeks.
Oh, here too. But I'm like
dark,
30 kilometers from the ocean, so it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's dark like the devil's anus, as I put it on Twitter the other day, because when you wake up in the morning and go to work, and then it's about 8 o'clock and the sun is not up yet.
How many hours do you have sunlight a day?
Well, depends on what you call sunlight. The sun is up for about 7 hours, I think.
Oh,
at
that's
the moment.
not a lot.
No, and then when it's overcast and raining, it's not really sunlight.
Yeah.
So,
is it really sunlight if the clouds are covered?
No, but daylight. It was the word I should have employed. So you have only 7 hours of daylight?
Yeah, and still, I mean,
shit. I didn't realize you lived so far north.
No, it's like northern Canada.
Do you have northern lights?
No, yeah, well, we've had some the last couple of weeks. There've been some quite south,
cool.
but not normally. Not normally. But...
that's something I would really want to see one day.
Yeah, then you should go to the north of Sweden because they have them all the time. They rarely creep down this far south. I mean, I live on the southern tip of. I'm on the same. What's it? Longitude as Denmark, but that's like that's, as I said, it's like northern Canada. It's the same. Because if you think about it, I mean, what is it? Maine is on the same as sort of London or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, and that's not, of course, not that far more north than London, but it still counts. I mean,
but we have the weird stream that makes stuff hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The North Atlantic,
but it doesn't make it lighter.
No.
Unless it's going to be on fire soon. I don't know.
How do you manage to not all be depressed as fuck?
We have IKEA and ABBA.
That's true.
We also have Dolph Lundgren too.
But he's lived in the States
German,
for like
no?
50
I
years.
I thought Dolph Lundgren was German.
No.
Dolph Lundgren and Greta Thunberg.
Dolph Lundgren. He's from Stockholm.
Okay.
But he's lived, as I said, I think he's lived in the States for 50 years or so by this time.
Yeah, since like
I don't know.
Since like the 80s, I bet.
Thank you, Mithril. But David already lived in Sweden, and I want to go see his church one day.
The rural house that he owns. Yeah.
You get the not northern lights. Are you south enough to get the southern equivalent? I suck at geography, I swear. Stuff are always not at the place I think they are. That construction of that sentence was fucked up. Did everyone understand what
I think we did understand what you were trying to say. You just like you suck at geography. You can't like tell where things are. So we're the Aurora.
That's so
Australis.
Yeah. No, Australis. Okay, that does make sense.
But the climate in New
the
Zealand
Austrian lights
is temperate. It's about the same climate as in France. So you have
the sky's upside down.
You have the lights without having the stupid cold. I really want to go live in your country.
And right now it's getting hotter. Actually, as like
Yeah.
they're
It's
approaching summer. Yep.
It's interesting. I always think of what Douglas Adams said about New Zealand. He said it's like Norway if you put it in the southern hemisphere and filled it with birds.
With what? Birds?
Birds.
Birds.
Oh.
Birds.
Why?
Just
There are a lot
birds,
of
birds.
birds in
The
the.
birds of the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds.
Is there a lot of birds? In
I didn't know
Australia?
there was
In New Zealand?
a lot of birds in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, the southern hemisphere is so much more biodiverse.
No, I know, but
birds.
I didn't know it was New Zealand in particular that was famous for birds.
But I gotta run,
They have
guys.
kiwis.
I'll see you guys later.
They do have
Yes.
kiwis.
Bye, Isaiah.
I know.
Bye,
Isaiah.
Congratulations.
Bye bye,
Happy
Isaiah.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Everybody.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you, Julie.
The groundhog says southern lights. Yes, we occasionally get them like this far north, but like to get them, you better have to like go south.
Oh
That
yeah,
makes sense.
because in Christchurch you are on the northern island, not the southern one, right?
Think so. I'm looking it up right
Because
now.
New Zealand is actually
No,
two islands.
Yes, the New Zealand is 2 islands with Auckland and Wellington and the North Island. I'm looking up on Google Maps right now. No, Christchurch is in the Southern Island, but it's in the middle.
Oh, so it's Wellington that's on the northern island.
Yes, at the north, it's on the North Island, but the very
Okay.
tip is the port. And then Auckland is at the very near the very top. So
Yeah, I don't want to live in Auckland.
mm,
I think I'm going to start in Wellington because I really want to try and work for the waiter workshop.
yeah,
And I think my background in costume might help. And if they have contracts to help with disabled folks, maybe, I don't know, a girl can dream.
yeah.
I mean, how cool is the Weta Workshop? For
Yeah.
those who don't know, the Weta Workshop is the company who made all the costumes and special effects for Lord of the Rings.
And the Hobbit films as well.
It's
I was going to
a
ask
costume
where is
maker.
Isengard? Which island is that?
It will be the northern one. No, I don't know where they filmed actually, but I guess it'll be close to the northern one. They probably film all over the islands if they need so for like locations. But like the set of Isengard is like in like was in the world, it's in what workshops as it were, for sure. And Auckland sucks according to like a groundhog.
I mean, it's the biggest city in the country, so it's like Paris and New York. It sucks. Well, I don't know if New York sucks. It's so big. I don't think it's a bunch of cities, actually.
And that's
The
true.
boroughs are their own little cities, as I understand
Communes.
it.
I can believe that. I'm not sure though. And yes, that's true, Groundhog. Though, what I mean, the big ass bug that was found in New Zealand. Yeah.
I'm not afraid of bugs, so well, depends which one. I hate wasps.
Oh,
Wasps
yeah.
and the big ones. How do you
Yeah,
call them?
the insects are bad too.
Hornets?
The big wasps. How do you call them?
Hornets, maybe?
Yes.
Mhm.
Those and mosquitoes are the only species that I kill on sight.
Yeah.
I try to chase away every other stuff that I don't like, but ew. Those
Yeah.
ones, they scare the shit out of me. Well, not the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes, I just hate them because they keep eating me.
Wasps are the worst, and the insects that are,
Oh, I hate
warmer
them.
are also really bad.
They're so mean.
Yeah.
They're more afraid of you than you're of them.
No, not wasps.
I don't
Wasps-
care.
I was stung by a hornet when I was a kid. The thing was like 2 inches big. I swear. I never was so scared in my life. And believe me, a hornet sting, it hurts.
I'm allergic
Like
these days.
shit. And I think apparently I'm lucky. I'm not allergic because those are dangerous.
Mhm.
Yeah, hornet's gonna be like nasty.
I
I
grew up
was
in the
curious
farm.
about the whole latitude thing that David was talking about.
Mhm.
The southern tip of Sweden is basically on the same line as Scotland, and
Makes
those are
sense.
both parallel to Canada, northern Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Everywhere
what you were
in
saying.
England is north of the continental U.S.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Maine
but we
is on the
have
same line as
a
France.
we have a warm stream to warm us up. So
Hmm.
in the
Mhm.
north of the US, on the East Coast anyways, you get
Yeah.
cold as fuck.
Yeah.
But we are less cold as fuck here.
Yeah, you have the
I
tail
was
end of
gonna
the
say,
Gulf
I want
Stream.
to say there's something on the West Coast. that-
There is a jet stream on the West Coast. Yes.
Yeah, that,
Oh,
that, that makes
that's
that
how
makes
it's called.
Washington and Oregon warmer than the northern East Coast states.
Yeah, it makes the scenery around the Oregon and like Washington like very beautiful and green, which is also how we have like a rainforest in like the Olympia Peninsula too. And that kind of remind me, it was on the Some More News video that were dropped on Thanksgiving. That like the author of Dune, Robert Hearn. Correct me on the name. He got the inspiration for Dune or some of the philosophy in Dune, as a word they wrote about, from his time being with the indigenous people on the Olympia Peninsula in Washington State, and how they take care of like the land, as it were. So, hey, this is why it's very important for like land back and like all of those other things that like listen to indigenous people and like follow their example of how to take care of like the environment too, because like they gave us Dune in a way.
And he got the inspiration for the sandworms and the.
Oh, Dune! I thought you were saying
Frank
Doom.
Herbert is the guy.
Yeah,
Frank Herbert.
yeah. You also said the wrong name, which was made it really
I
confusing.
thought you were talking about Doom.
Yeah, the video game.
It's sad that he also.
So I wasn't listening at all
speculation
because
that
I
if
don't
people
know
like
it.
that ever came to into any kind of power, that they would immediately spread and try to spread in a authoritarian sort of manner.
Right.
As someone who has been a fan of Dune for years since I was teenager, I'm getting like a little hipster about it right now, because with the new show, everyone is a fan now, and I'm kind of salty about it. I hate it. I hate being like that, because I usually like when something I like is liked by a lot of people, but I don't know, with Dune, I don't know, it's kind of pissing me off.
I read the book since I was young.
I was going to say, it could be because their appreciation of it is so much more shallow than yours.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it is.
You don't even think it's that?
No, I think I'm just a hipster on that point, and I need to get over
It's because
myself.
Julia's horny for Sting.
You prefer the David Lynch one.
Oh God, what? Oh, don't talk to me ever again.
It's just I love that. I love that movie.
That being
such a
said,
train
the
wreck.
movie on the costume and aesthetic front is amazing.
The new one.
But that's not thanks to Lynch. It's thanks to Giger.
Yeah.
Who made the set and chose the costume maker.
That was
But
something. Yeah.
Aesthetically, that movie is awesome. Even the casting is good.
Yes.
The scenario is shit though.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I don't agree with Lynch on which part he chose to show and which part he chose to not show.
Yeah.
I know it's a commission movie, so you can judge it, but I don't like Lynch in general already. So I'm not being very what's the word? Charitable.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have some fishy fashy for this week?
We do indeed.
God, I didn't miss that.
You don't
That's
have
not
to
true. That's not
participate,
true.
boy.
I did. I like that game.
Okay.
It kills the little bit I have of trust in humanity, but I
That's
still
a good thing.
like it. No, it's not. I'm an extrovert and a very positive person. I have, and people are making me depressed.
Are you on Twitter in general, Julie, or no?
I have an account, but I avoid it.
Okay,
I go
Because
on there from
I was gonna
time
say,
to time.
just being on Twitter will do that. It doesn't
No, I
necessarily have
know,
to be finding the worst
Facebook
people
is
on
bad
Twitter.
enough, but Twitter
Yeah.
is. Oh God, I try to avoid Twitter. I go from time to time, and I only follow nice people.
But
Yeah.
speaking of like terrible people on Twitter, so let's go through.
Fishy
Yes.
Tashy.
That's
All right,
the-
first up we have an article from Quillette.
Oh God.
Where they make the claim that Jews never faced pressure to assimilate.
What?
Hmm.
Oh, I really hope it's the fake one.
no.
No, for real, that one is not funny.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Richard Dawkins
Oh no.
praising the TV show Young Sheldon,
The
calling
TV show
him a
what?
solemn young genius.
The Young Sheldon. It's like
A
Sheldon
spin-off from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Oh, I
Following
love the
the
actor, but I
autistic
hate
one.
that show. Well,
Yes.
Big Bang Theory. I used to like it, but
It's geeky
Then-
misogyny.
then I got woke.
Yes.
It's nerd blackface.
Yes.
All right. And finally, we have Scott Adams,
I
Oh
don't know who
yes.
that is.
Oh, Dilbert guy.
the
Yes,
the
the
author
Dilbert guy.
artist of Dilbert.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who that is. Oh, my God.
Yes.
And he
I
says
used to
that,
like that cartoon, but
he says that the unvaccinated are dying by the millions.
what? The unvaccinated are dying?
The unvaccinated are dying by the millions.
Yes.
Ooh, I feel like this one's a trick.
I was going to say yes. That's the problem. I mean,
So let's start with
So
Joe.
what's the context of that one?
That's just it.
He was responding to someone
I mean,
saying
if
that
you
the
want,
vaccinated
if you
are
want
hoping the
context,
vaccinated die.
you shouldn't be on Twitter.
That's true. That's why I'm usually not on Twitter, because even
You
though
don't-
I like myself a good old hot take, Twitter is too much with the hot takes. Thank God for Aaron on Twitter.
Mhm.
The Embrace the Void. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Aaron Rabenerus, yeah. But anyway, so like
All
Joe,
right. So
you're
Joe,
first.
which one do you think is the fake?
as much as like the third one sounds the most out of character, I feel like that's a trap. So I'm gonna go with Dawkins.
Okay. All right. And David.
Well, if the third one had any context, I would believe that one. But we're trying to find the fake one.
Mhm.
We. Yes,
Hmm.
I said we. I haven't talked to you for 3 weeks, and I talk French when I
Yeah.
speak French when I come here.
So I think it's probably that one, the third one.
You think it's Scott Adams?
Yes.
Okay. And Julie.
I'm going to go with the first one because I really don't want it to be true.
Okay.
So I'm
And
going
Jonathan.
with hope. Here, I know how naive of me.
I feel like that's just a way to get let down.
I know.
But my dice rolled the 6, so I'm going to go with Scott Adams as well.
Okay. So the largest number of people went with Scott Adams. So let's go ahead and start with Scott Adams. Replying to someone named Beach Chair. Beach Chair said, "Is it my imagination, or are the vaccinated obviously hoping the unvaccinated die in large numbers to prove a point?" To which Scott Adams replied, "That would be your imagination, because the unvaccinated are already dying by the millions."
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Funny
a
how-
shit thing to
But
say,
that wasn't the quote that you gave us, so that one is fake, right?
Nope, that one was real. He said that the unvaccinated are dying by the millions.
Yes.
Already.
So Jordan, you lost. and groundhog is with Dawkins.
Mhm. All right, so next up we have Dawkins, who said, U.S. series called Young Sheldon nicely passes dull time on exercise machine. Witty like Simpsons. Not just contrast of solemn young genius versus Sibs, but gentle satire on normal U.S. family. Fat football
Oh,
coach
God.
father, airhead religious mother, brash in-your-face grandma. Fun.
I won.
Which means that yes, Julie, all by herself, correctly called it. I slightly altered the one from Quillette. Jews were under no great pressure to assimilate, where others were maintaining their separateness. I thought it symptomatic that Robert Allen Zimmerman of Duluth, Minnesota became Bob Dylan, but Leonard Cohen from Montreal remained Leonard Cohen.
I'm sure Leonard Cohen was never bullied for his name, right? Oh God.
I'm not sure what
Smart.
exactly the point they're trying to make.
No, I know. That's why I'm
Oh, I see.
saying that. I'm
Basically,
being
in places where
sarcastic
people
with
were
what
allowed
they
to have
say.
different cultures and ethnic identities, they didn't pressure to assimilate.
Yes,
Whereas
because
in the U.S., everyone has to, conform. Therefore, Jews face pressure in the U.S. to conform.
Yeah, but not because they're Jews, just because it's like that in the US, according to Quillette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
in your butt.
yes, you did win, Julie. Yes, all of us lost.
That's nice to win when I come back after a long leave of absence. I apologize about that, but between
Don't
the
apologize for
cold,
winning.
the cold, the rain,
Oh yeah.
and the depression, the and the
Yeah.
fatigue. And I'm not doing great, but I'm not doing as bad as I was doing before because financially I'm better.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
to
not
hear.
out of the woods, but I'm not
Mm,
in I have to beg every month place anymore,
Yeah.
okay.
which
That's,
is nice.
mhm. That's good because I were in a,
It's really nice.
it's nice when you don't have to like beg an online door to live because like I
Yeah,
know.
I just created a new bank account basically, and my income goes on that. So I can choose how much I give to the bank.
I see.
The old bank, instead of them taking everything I have, the huge $300 I have every month.
300 euros, right?
Yeah. Well,
It's still not a
every
lot though.
trimester I have 700 from the rents of the house.
Yeah.
But that's like less than $250 a month. So it's not always easy, but I'm good now that I can actually use it instead of giving it all to the bank. I'm going to be good. Fine. Not good. I'm never going to be good. I'm an artist, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly. Or manching, as it were, in the manching state, as it were. Because like fine also is like stands, as we know, fine stands for freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
What was that?
Fine. It stands
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was the
and like I mean scoring through like some places that like I have like news sources like I look up to bring up other stories to like talk about. It's not great news as it were. Like I did the Congress is going to try to do something and pass something and it would just be like wake me up when you actually pass something and it actually does something good. Unfortunately a new variant of like COVID-19 is like
Omicron.
yeah is
the Omicron. Yes, there's one. How are they going to cope when there are not Greek letters to go anymore?
They'll just start doubling up. Alpha, alpha, beta, omicron.
Oh no. that's going to be ridiculous because it's going to be funny. Tovin Alpha Alpha. I'm sorry, it's going to be funny.
They'll go over to the hurricane system where
Yes.
go through the alphabet. Every letter is named for a name. Cycle through it until.
Yeah. Just
How
like
do you choose if hurricanes are girls or boys?
I think
it
alternate.
alternates.
It,
Oh, it's every other one?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's the same in Europe. I think that's an international thing.
Yeah,
It's,
but we don't have a lot of hurricanes in Europe, so it doesn't happen.
No,
a lot.
but I mean the breezes and the
They what do you call it? There are storms in Europe that use the same naming convention.
we had
Okay,
one about I
Yeah,
don't know 15 years ago. It was
I
called-
haven't owned a TV for 15 years, so you know.
What do you
It-
call
it's
What's
it?
all your
sort of-
furniture pointed at?
Your winter your bigger winter storms that are essentially formed similar to the way hurricanes are formed.
Yeah.
What do you call it? But
I
you know,
think that's
across
because I grew up in the Alps.
Use
In
the
the
same-
mountains, we don't have a lot of wind.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the hurricanes and like the effects
It's more
like
in the plains, right?
yeah, exactly. Hurricanes do affect like southeast and like east.
Yeah.
and
Now I
seaboard.
live on a plain, but it's an oceanic one, so it's more.
Yeah.
It's different again. But there is a lot of wind here. That's quite surprising for me. Oh, I have always lived in a region where there's not a lot of wind at all.
Well, if there's not a lot of wind on your plane, it's gonna fall down. I'm sorry.
I'm going to choose to ignore that.
It's plain to see.
Don't encourage David, for fuck's sake. He's on air.
That's not even how airplanes work. Such a bad joke.
That's wind gliders anyway.
I'm warning you, I'm going to leave.
Leaving on a jet plane.
Shut up, David! Stop laughing, you encourage him.
No, Isaiah would not like mention that unless Isaiah is familiar with that song and starts singing it. It's word. Don't worry, I won't sing. But then again, the Leave on a Jet Plane is not a 90s song, so why would they say sing it or know it?
I'm pretty sure there was at least one cover version of it in the 90s.
Probably.
There's
Yes.
at least one in every decade.
There was one for the Armageddon movie. That was a terrible movie.
What?
There was.
I'm leaving on a spaceship.
There was a cover of the song "I'm Leaving on a Jet Plane" for the terrible movie Armageddon, starring Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay. That was the movie I missed.
I was thinking Shatner did a thing, but that was actually Rocket Man and not Leaving on a Jet Plane.
Right.
That
exactly.
movie really is bad. Right?
Yeah. it is.
I don't even think I watched it, but I know it's bad. Just
Michael Bay.
because Aerosmith made a shitty song for it.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, which is interchangeable with all of the ballads.
Yes.
Except for Dream On. Don't count Dream On. It's an actually good song, but
yeah.
And the one they made with Run DMC is quite good too.
Walk This Way. Yeah.
But-
I feel like Armageddon is like the only acceptable way to, or along the lines of the only acceptable way Michael Bay works, where it has to be so cheesy and over the top and so dumb
Yeah, it's Roland Emmerich for you.
that it like fall. Yeah. Where
Exactly.
it falls into Roland Emmerich territory.
At least
Well,
it wasn't Pearl Harbor
When
by
Bay is being
Explosion
serious,
Maggie.
it's
Yeah,
so bad.
that no, I'm against that movie. Pearl Harbor, honestly, historically, it's the biggest. I mean, it's a little military port that has been attacked and that has been used as an excuse
Yeah.
to drop 2 nuclear bombs. That it's not even funny anymore, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they made a movie about that. They have no shame. Oh my God.
That's American jingoism for you.
No, I know, but it's not. I thought it was Emmerich that made that movie, but it's
Nope,
not.
Michael Bay. It's
No.
Michael Bay.
Oh, of course it's Michael Bay.
That's
I
Bay.
mean, he's almost as bad.
It almost as bad as Rowan Emmerich too. It's that you did, and
It's not as patriotic, but
yeah,
well,
Rowan Emmerich
He's
is
very militaristic.
Michael Bay is very militaristic.
yes, but isn't it just because of the explosions?
The Explosion McGee. That's Michael Bay's.
I mean,
nickname. That's an excellent nickname
I
for
appreciate Michael Bay's explosions. It's about the only thing I appreciate in these movies because they usually look like fireworks and it's
essentially
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, in that way too.
And he's self-aware about it. He once made a commercial for something that just had him walking around pointing at things and making them blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yes.
At least he's aware.
Yeah.
Yep.
It seems to have like enough.
And
enough...
he's not taking himself too seriously about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen an interview of Roland Emmerich?
No.
But that man takes himself very seriously.
Oh
man,
his thing is art.
Did you see the interview he did? I don't even remember the name of the film, but it's about Shakespeare and that Shakespeare was actually a noble pretending to be a common man. What is the name of that?
Oh, I think I
But
saw
oh my
that
god,
one.
that interview, he is so up his ass in that. And
Yeah, I think I saw that, but it's an old one. Isn't it for 2012?
no. Well, he did a movie called 2012, but we're talking about different
Yes.
movies.
It was at about that time he did that interview, no?
It might have been.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Michael Bay, Groundhog. Michael Bay wants to make films that he wants to watch. That's true, and I can
Honestly, I really enjoyed the first two Transformers. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. I actually did enjoy the first Transformers movies.
I mean, it's robots that transform into cars and explosions everywhere. I'm sorry, I like robots. I'm weak.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like when the film delivered that, and the first Transformers movie did deliver that, it was like good. If
the second one is good too.
I had problems with the length of the second one and the pacing of the second one.
But good. None of them is good.
Entertaining.
Sorry for the word.
What do you call it? Pain and Gain. I actually enjoy, although I know it is just a miserable film. And
which one?
Pain and Gain.
I don't know that one.
That's
one. Who made it?
That was Michael Bay.
That's a Michael Bay film.
Oh, okay.
And
The Island.
What is the name of that? Oh, Bad Boys 2.
Oh yeah.
Bad Boys.
The cinematography.
It's very problematic, but
is
there's
so
something.
good.
I'll give Bad Boys 2 a watch.
I really don't like the actor, not Will Smith, the other one.
Martin Lawrence.
Oh my god, he's not funny. I kind of love Will Smith, but that guy, oh god.
Yeah.
Of course, Pacific Rim was much better, Mitchell.
That's a competent director doing that.
It's Guillermo del Toro. Of course, it was better.
I mean, maybe like the movie Relic that Guillermo del Toro did direct was like not a good movie, but that's probably because like studio involvement and like
but that's a good movie. I'm sorry.
Okay.
On a directing point of view, the story is shit, but who cares?
So it's
giant robots fighting with giant monsters.
Right.
And Idris Elba in it. I'm sorry if you don't like it, fuck off.
Yes, exactly. So if Relic is actually a decent movie, then Guillermo del Toro has not directed a bad movie that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even though it was done on the budget of like $45, even The Devil's Backbone is really good.
That movie is so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's like
I mean, I'm really, he was the one who should have directed The Hobbit.
Yes,
initially.
Yes, he did. He was really deep involved in that.
Really curious what that would have looked like.
Well, it would have looked like wacky as fuck. I think it would have been a very different movie, but It
It
would
wouldn't
have
be
been
3 movies. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
You know what? I bet.
well, yeah. He
if-
wouldn't
if
have
to
let
actually make it-
anything.
to actually let
out.
it go, he would have let them do that. But
This is. I mean, I don't know if you follow the Beatles documentary thing that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
No, I
well,
don't
I'm
like
familiar
the,
with the
well, I don't
concept.
like John Lennon, so I'm not interested
no,
in
but
the Beatles.
the thing here is Peter Jackson. I about I don't know, a year ago or something like that, I was first being made aware that he was doing this, and I sort of jokingly said, we don't know what it's going to be like, but we know that it's going to be 3 movies and at least 8 hours. And I think I'm going to go into the prophecy business because that maybe that was too obvious.
I mean, it's Tolkien. You have to make multiple movies.
not Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles. Okay.
Yeah, Peter
Sorry.
Jackson. He made. I don't know. They say he made it.
a lot of.
didn't
I'm
he do,
sure
like,
it's
a
going to
World War I
be.
documentary like last year or something.
Yes, he did.
I'm kind of a fan when it comes to Peter Jackson. I've seen all his movies, but
Yeah, but he's like, I
Me?
don't know. It's like with not Peter Jackson.
Guillermo del
both have-
Toro.
Yeah, well, him. I think sometimes. I mean, Guillermo del Toro.
But you-
He seems like he's
say good night
not-
to Flora, babes.
Good night, Flora.
Good night, Flora.
Flora.
Right.
David, Joe, Jonathan, John. This was me.
Hey,
She,
John.
she wiggles her fingers to say goodbye.
Good night.
Night.
I'm high as fuck because of progesterone right now.
Fuck
so-
off, you junkie.
But Guillermo del Toro, he doesn't seem like he has any kind of hubris.
No, he's super
he-
humble.
he seems to
Yes.
be quite realistic about everything he does, and even though he have great planned projects and so on, he doesn't like go on screaming about it not being ever realized, but he
Right.
just struggles on, while Peter Jackson, George Lucas, all the other I mean, Peter
Spielberg, too.
Jackson
I
usually
mean, it's because
doesn't
of the
complain
Lord
that
of the
much,
Rings.
but,
Honestly, Peter Jackson wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
no,
that's
he isn't like that now either, I would say, but he
Yes,
gets a
he's
bit
a little like that now.
He gets a bit too carried away, and no one is there to
Mm.
stop him
or
anymore.
Yes,
like
that's
or
right.
or like the film the video game director here Hideo Kojima of like Metal Gear Solid fame, like Death Stranding. He's just like, and here's like Conan O'Brien. And it's like, why is Conan O'Brien in this game? Because Hideo Kojima wanted to put his celebrity friends in his game.
I
When you
like
said
Conan
video game
O'Brien,
designer,
so
I was curious if you were going to go with him, Cage, or Molyneux.
oh, Stephen Molyneux, or it was like Peter Molyneux was like, oh god.
no.
But
no.
David Cage also, it's just like, David Cage, you're not a good
who's
director.
Who's David Cage?
He did the Indigo Prophecy, Detroit Become Human,
It's French.
Beyond Two Souls,
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
What are those games?
Those are video games that
Okay.
play like movies.
Yeah. He,
Oh, so they're like
he's a video game director that very much wants to be a movie director.
And it's-
are those video games directed well?
no.
Oh,
They're pretty.
that's sad.
I don't actually know.
Yeah,
I
but they're
haven't
just
played
interactive
them.
novels.
Yeah, they're interactive for the most part. There's like gameplay, or so like Ridley Scott nowadays. Yeah, exactly. So interesting story. Speaking of Guillermo del Toro, that like Garrett told this in his like video essay on the Magic Theater channel about the Marvel universe. That like the Guillermo del Toro had his own idea to do like a mad scientist on like an island sort of like a thing. And so the Guillermo del Toro is the artist, so he drew these really beautiful like pre-production like illustrations that would show the sets and show all these different things as it were. And so he brought this all to this pitch meeting to like a movie executive as it were, and going through this elaborate storyboards and all these like illustrations and like going through, and the movies have this like, okay, You know how I think who would be a good person to play the lead of the mad scientist? Tom Cruise. Guillermo del Toro stormed out of the room, and the movie never got made.
That's a good decision. That's a good
Yes,
decision.
exactly. I haven't seen The Frighteners.
That movie is so fucking good. I swear, it's
I
one of
barely
my top
remember
5.
it.
That's the one with like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, yeah. I
He's
remember
a
the
ghost.
basics. And
He's his ghost.
Yes, exactly. because
I'm
had that
going to
certain
stop here.
sign.
That
And, yeah.
movie is so good, and it's everyone thinks it's a Zemeckis movie, but it's actually directed by Peter Jackson. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's a Peter Jackson movie. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's in my top 5
Mhm.
movies of all time.
He worked on like the couple of those like horror movies he did before Lord of the Rings. He actually did like
Oh,
film.
Brand Dead, that movie is so funny.
Oh, I haven't seen. Again, it's like basically I did not know of like Peter Jackson until
But
like
New Zealand
Lord of the Rings.
has a very good horror movie scene.
not gonna bet
There's
actually.
another director who made a movie that's called Black Sheep. If you
Oh.
enjoy horror movies, watch that shit. It's
isn't
so
that the one
funny.
with violent zombie sheep?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm more sold on that. You're just
Killer Sheep. It's amazing. It's very gory, but it's very funny. It's all I like in horror movies. I don't like those who are frightening.
Yeah.
I like those who are very gory and stupid.
Yeah. When was the last time I saw a horror film? I think the okay. So the first thing that came to mind was just like not a good movie, or just like it's entertaining if you enjoy silly slasher movies. It was Unfriended 2, The Dark Web. I didn't realize that was a sequel. Actually, they made it Unfriended before, but it's the one.
The number 2 in the title didn't clue you in.
I don't think it actually had the number 2. It just said Unfriended, The Dark Web. And so I didn't realize it was a sequel. But what if we told the whole story of a movie through like people's computer screens, since everyone's doing Zoom and all these other things? That's where, and yeah, so they did 2 Unfriended slasher films, and they're silly slasher films as well. Now, you can do that concept but tell a really good story in that, and that's where I recommend. It's not a horror movie, but it's a great mystery movie. Searching, go watch that movie.
If you hadn't said, I was like, you were bringing this up, and I'm like, oh, you should see Searching. It actually does that premise good.
Searching,
Yes.
like,
Searching.
like
John,
when you
It's
search for
a
something?
drama about a father
John-
trying to find his daughter, and it's
yes,
so good.
it's a mystery. Yeah, it's a drama. The drama.
Yeah, but
mystery.
is it frightening?
No, no, it's not suspenseful. And well, it's suspenseful for drama, but not like scary. It's not a horror movie.
Good.
It-
Scary. That was the word I was looking for.
Let's see. What's a good scary movie I've seen recently?
I don't like scary movies. They are
You-
scary. I
you like
used to
gory.
like them, but I
Yeah,
like
okay.
gory because it's fun. It's so stupid.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like action movies that are just like really gory in places too. As well,
Like Blade.
yeah,
Yeah, Blade is one of my favorite. Well, not the first one, but the second.
Blade 2.
Yeah.
Guillermo del
Blade
Toro
2
again.
is. Oh yes, it's Del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah, he just had fun with that one because, like, oh, I don't have to establish characters. I don't have to, like, I could just, like, take this property and have
That
a lot of
one
fun with
is really good. The
Mhm.
first
third
one
one
is a
was pretty
little
shit.
slow.
Yeah.
The third one is very shitty,
Yep.
but the second one is so good.
The first one is an okay 90s action movie
yes,
until the second one was made, and then the first one pales so much in comparison.
I do agree, but I enjoyed the first one still.
I
Yeah.
love the first one. I just think it's a little too slow.
I agree. And
It's a little slow paced for an action movie.
I agree. It was like, yeah, it's kind of an interesting choice for like Stephen Dwarf. Yeah, it was like Stephen Dwarf is or no. I forgot like who the director is. It's unimportant though. He also later directed like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. 90s comic book movie.
I love that movie. It's so
I
bad.
enjoy it too, but it's just like I'm
But
not gonna
I
say.
like it because it's
I always thought it
bad.
was really stupid and bad.
Oh yes, exactly.
I like that movie so much better until I read the source material.
Oh.
That's pretty much all. Like every time that I've enjoyed something that was adapted from Alan Moore.
That was no wonder.
Yeah,
Because
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore never likes any of the adaptations of his works, which kind of
No,
like
but
makes sense.
this one is there's a story behind it. It's the shittiness of that movie is a result of Sean Connery's tantrums.
No, that is kind of.
He wasn't supposed to be the center of the story. They were supposed to be all like equals, you know.
Yeah.
Well, even Dorian Gray was supposed to be like the center of the story, which makes sense when you know the story.
Yeah, exactly. And
but no.
Yeah. But I do also agree, Mitchell. Despite my like ACAP views as well, there are some of my favorite like TV shows or animes and something like that.
I love to. The procedural books are the like the first ones I've. Well, it was more PIs than cops, but I always said that fictional cops are okay.
Yes,
the
exactly.
only good cop is a fictional cop.
I mean, that's why I mean, my favorite anime.
Being a good cop is a fiction.
Yes, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
But even when they're not good, like I like to take Pratchett as an example in that case because Vimes is really well written for that. Is not what we would call a good cop. He has no problem beating up suspects and stuff like that. But it's in a fictional
setting.
What's the word? Setting. Thank you. And is always justified. It's always justified. It's always right.
Yeah. When you have writers making it so that the person he beats up is actually the perpetrator and not just some random guy that was the first one they investigated. It's a lot more palatable.
No, but even his personality is tortured, violent. Well, not violent, but anyways, is everything a good cop in real life would not be.
Yeah.
But it's fiction.
Right.
Who cares? I love detective stories, but yeah, because the cops in those stories are always what police should be in real life. They're just, and you know, they don't want to have the wrong suspect. And they respect the rules.
Yes, I mean, like, I actually thought it was like a pretty good cop movie, but it's based on like real events. Serpico, the early Al Pacino movie too. And that's one good cop that like actually like testified against all the dirty cops in this like precinct, as it were. Actually, I quite enjoyed that movie, even though it's like kind of like cycling on the serious side, as it were. But like as a personal drama. What are the good cop shows or cop movies?
Lucifer. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Lucifer is so cool. I'm late on the seasons. Actually, I have to.
Yeah, there's like a lot of things I had to catch up on. Actually, a coworker recommended me this anime called The Beginning. I watched the first season of it. I thought it was like,
is that a cop show?
Yes, there's detectives on it too, but there's also like a superpower things too. It's on Netflix, so maybe it's in your. I think Netflix.
I don't have Netflix anymore.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What are your feelings on Dominion Tank Police?
Is that an anime?
It is an anime. It's a silly one.
It's an old anime.
It is a really old anime. I think Man in Jump, which is like Saturday Filmworks, is like old anime like label, has like a re-released it on DVD, and I think I actually have seen it. I think my brother actually owns it too. That's kind of like a it's kind of like as silly as word, but like I don't know. Some of my favorites are still like Ghost in the Shell standalone complex as well, and that's definitely a cop show for sure.
So that's a cop show, but like with a cyberpunk vibe?
Yes, cyberpunk. It's actually there's
nice.
Yes, interesting that like apparently some people like they create the subcategory of cyberpunk noir, and Ghost in the Shell kind of like fits into that, as it were. It's just
it's not something I like, but I appreciate more cyberpunk stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I really enjoy Police Squad too, like Groundhog. Cigarette?
How many?
Yes,
how
I know.
many of those are there?
Only 6 episodes. I think they only made 6 episodes of Police Squad, and then the 3 Nick Gunn movies from the files of Police Squad.
And
I'm
is another
confusing
comedy
it
that I
with
really
the
like.
Police Academy.
Oh yeah, the Police Academy movies. There were 8 movies.
When I was a kid, I loved those.
Go back and watch them now. They probably don't hold up as well.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
I know.
I keep thinking about going back to those just to see if they hold up.
Just
But
like
I know
the Naked
for
Gun
sure they don't.
has some transphobia in it.
Yep.
Oh yes.
There's sex worker shaming and sexual assault in
Yep.
Police Academy.
Yep.
I almost think I keep thinking that I'm gonna do it because I simply adore the dark comedy of Bobcat Goldthwait. But that's mostly as a director, so I don't know. I don't know if going
that
back
one.
to his acting's gonna be good for me.
Guy who talked like this.
Yeah, I think he kind of regretted that. Like he became famous for that because, like, even though all the films that he's directed and the dark comedy he does, people only know him for like that guy from the Police Academy.
Yep.
Which one?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Goldthwait.
Can you link me to? his
He's the
page?
character that's essentially inspired by Animal from the Muppets.
Yes.
The blue one.
Yes.
No, no Animal. He's red. No,
Pink.
Yes.
it's the Cookie Monster. Is the blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch TV anymore.
I don't
Um,
either.
There is like the IMDb link to Bobcat Goldthwait.
Thank you.
Maybe you find a movie that like you can recognize him from. He's also a stand-up comedian too.
Mhm.
I thought from what I've seen of his comedy, I thought it was like pretty good. But then again, I had to like there's aughts comedy that I was listening to. I had to listen to it like with contemporary eras. But I like to say that I imagine Bobcat Goldthwait doesn't have problematic comedy, but you just never know, honestly, at this point.
I showed Legally Blonde to.
Oh wow, he did a lot
Laura.
more stuff than I thought he did.
That was fun. I forgot how fun Legally Blonde was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched the 3 Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I still have not seen the Pitch Perfect movies.
And now I have to show her Flashdance and Fame and Dirty Dancing because she missed the whole girl teenage chick flick crap thing.
Oh yeah, I don't know how many of those movies I did happen to see.
And Flashdance is objectively pretty good.
I have not seen that one actually. I still have not. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. We're just going through like movies that we have seen and haven't seen, as it were.
I haven't
Actually,
seen the majority.
I'm gonna
of
have
all
to call
movies.
it.
Yes.
I have grading to do, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to call an end to the show.
Yeah, that's
It's gonna take me
Flora is
a while
going
to get
bed,
through
so
those exams.
All right.
So John is going to get out the dice.
Oh, that's how you grade papers, David.
Yes, that's how you grade papers.
So thank you, Joe, to coming on. I figured it was a good opportunity to have you on to make up for you not being able to come on for the Patreon show. But it's the next Patreon show. It will be the second Saturday of November, so it will be 2 weeks from now. It
No,
will be
December.
December. Yes, it'll be December.
If you tell me November is coming back again, I'm going to kill you.
What? How bad was this November? But anyway,
David is so dumb.
This was the worst
Remember-
one I can remember, actually. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So thank you, David, for coming on. They're telling us about how you had a female PM, the first female
No,
PM.
we haven't had one yet.
We
Next
still
week.
haven't had one. Wow.
We
your
didn't have
question.
one for 7 hours.
They have
Okay.
they have an almost one.
It had almost one.
I'm trying so hard.
Thank you, Lynn, for coming back. You're always welcome back. Let's go whenever you can. Same thing to everyone. And so Isaiah's Taylor's YouTube channels down below with all the other links, the charitylinks.com, Summer Geek on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast.
Dungeons and Debacles, though we haven't recorded in 2 weeks because of stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
very different. Good, great, fun. Lots of just sitting around playing D&D.
Next time, we have to talk about your Sex and the City thing.
Oh, yes, you tagged us on that deal.
Yes, I see. The
Just
thing is,
know
that
I
you can't
already
just have.
saw it all, and I kind of liked that show.
I still have never seen it.
It
I've
is
seen a few
bad.
episodes. But I would like to get a woman on there, hopefully one from New York. But yeah, just going through and just roasting the shit out of that show. I think that might be fun.
That might be fun.
All right.
Anyways, bye,
Anywho.
babes.
Bye,
Hey,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Practice
So putting it
self-care.
into